tuning in. My name is Shawna with World of Washable, and on this channel I talk about my journey homeschooling my two sets of twins. My littles are 5, they're gonna be 6 on Monday, which is crazy, this Monday coming up. And then my older twins are 7 and they're gonna be 8 in July. And before I forget, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. This video today is going to be the top 15 homeschool mistakes that I have made so far. And remember, I'm very early into our journey. My kids are only 5 and 7, but I've made a million mistakes along the way. So maybe if this helps even just one of you, then my job is done. Or even if it helps to feel like you can relate to somebody. I know that's what I always look for when I'm watching homeschool videos. I'm like, who can I relate to? And I just want you to know that I'm here, I'm with you. I am on and off of that struggle bus constantly every day. So let me jump right in. I have a list so I don't forget and I don't get off track. The first one is goals. I never set them, and I'm going to start doing it this coming school year. I think just knowing the way I am, if I don't set a goal, if I don't feel like I'm working towards something, then I have a tendency to kind of, stop doing it or not work as hard. They don't have to be strict or hardcore, but it's more like, okay, this is what we plan on doing with this year. So by this date, I would like to have about this much done, or I would like to be moving on to this, different thing on around this date. So just very lenient goals for me to just kind of flow with through the year, I think is gonna make me feel more motivated and keep me moving. Number 2, a storage plan. So along with me not feeling motivated if I don't have goals, I'm also not an organized person. But for storage, Florida is very easy to homeschool in, but we still have to have an evaluator at the end of the year evaluate the kids' works and make sure that they're showing progression. If you could see where I have my stuff, it's just stacked. From all year, all the stuff they did is just stacked. I'm gonna have to go through this and pull it apart. And starting this year, I'm going to figure out a way to stay more organized. So if you are a cluttery person or a disorganized person, I feel you. If there's ever a time that I look organized, it's probably because I spent way too much time on that one thing. Like I spent days or maybe months trying to figure out this one tiny aspect of my life where a lot of people who are more organized could probably, bust it out in a day. Number 3, I wouldn't buy anything at all, curriculum-wise, traditional curriculum-wise, until they were 6, maybe even 7. And I say that now with having 5-year-olds who are almost 6 and 7-year-olds who are almost 8. I wouldn't buy a thing. I would save my money. If I could just get a receipt to show how much money I have spent on curriculum, I would probably cry. And I think that there's just so much that they learn just naturally being kids and going places. I would take that money and I would get family memberships to museums and zoos and go out to the parks and do all of the freebies maybe that your community has to offer, more library trips and all that stuff. So I would save money and I wouldn't buy anything until they were 6, maybe 7. Number 4, just because they make it doesn't mean I need it. And that's really hard for me because I go to conventions and I just want all the things. And I remember going when my kids were 4, they were 4 and 2. And I'm looking at all of these preschool curriculums and I'm thinking, oh, they make science for preschool. They make piano lessons for preschool, Latin for preschool, chemistry for preschool, all of these things for preschool. If they make it, I must need it because out there are preschoolers doing these amazing things. No, I didn't need it. I didn't need it all. And thankfully I didn't buy it all, but I bought way too much. Just because they make it for that age range doesn't mean that you need it. But why do they make it? Because we're a very marketable group of people, because we want the best for our kids. We want to know that they're learning all the things that we think that they should know right at this age. And man, I am guilty of that. Number 5, don't start so early. This kind of goes in with the last 2 that I did. I would not start. We did skip preschool, and it's hard to really say that because I don't like assigning my kids grades. I only do it for YouTube and the fact that I have to file with the county. Other than that, I just wouldn't start anything with them traditional curriculum wise until they were 6 or 7. I just see how much that they have learned and grown through just spending time together, reading aloud, playing all the games that we play together as a family, baking, being with their friends, all of these things. And the curriculum was not necessary. It just wasn't. And they will pick up everything so fast, even if I waited till they were 7 to start anything. Number 6, don't compare. That's a hard one. And it would be very hypocritical of me to say that I never compare myself to anybody. Oh my goodness, that is just one weakness that I have, especially with all these amazing YouTube videos. I'm constantly thinking, look at her kids, they're already doing this. They've been doing this for a couple years and they're younger than my kids and my kids have never done it before ever. And just stop, because whatever you're doing with your child, they are going to learn and grow from that. And there's a million different curriculums. There's a million different ways to teach. There's a million different ways to learn. And there is no reason for you to compare what you are doing to what somebody else is doing. They have a completely different family dynamic, so many different factors. You can't just look at a family and compare exactly what you're doing, because all that will do to you is just make you feel defeated and you'll feel like you can't do it. And that's just a lie that we kind of tell ourselves. If we can't do it like this person, then we shouldn't do it. But that's not true. Number 7, don't just research. I am a researchaholic. Podcasts, YouTube, books. I read it, I listen to it, I watch it all, I devour it, I crave it, I obsess. Like, I love watching things about homeschool and curriculum and routines and days in the life. I love it, and I love getting a million ideas. But then I look at what I'm doing, I'm like, I never implement any of things, or I never do any of the things that I, say that I'm going to do. And it's okay to just watch it for fun and see how other people do their lives. But a lot of times I'm finding myself realizing that I'm reading all about how children learn, how to really connect with them in the different stages or levels that they are as their brains are developing. But then I find myself not doing any of it. Or I find myself getting frustrated because my 6 or 7-year-old can't sit still and he's bouncing all over the place. And it's like, well, hold on. I did all of this research that tells me this is exactly perfectly normal, but I'm not implementing the attitude and the maturity that I should be having towards the child that is acting perfectly normal for their age. Number 8, don't just get it done. So guilty. There's been times when I'm going through their it's maybe usually like language arts, because they're really good at it and they fly through it, but sometimes they want to stop and they want to talk about a certain aspect of it, and I'm like, oh my goodness, let's just get it done. And I say, okay, we can do that later, let's just get this done. And then I think, oh man, what am I teaching them? Because it is the exact opposite of why we chose to homeschool. What I'm teaching them in that moment is, we just need to get this done. That's the goal, is we have to get it done. When the reason why we homeschool and what I want to show them is that when you become interested in something, as you're learning something else, it's okay to take these rabbit trails. It's okay to say, we were flowing along, learning about something, and then this kind of sparked my interest. So I'm going to go down here and learn about it a little bit more, because when we do that, when we are passionate about what we're learning about, that is when we retain it. That is when we learn the most. So I'm doing the exact opposite when I say, let's just get it done and we'll do that part later. No, that is the important stuff. This is the stuff that can wait. But when they're little like this, we have the ability to take the time and to allow them to explore all of these different avenues. And totally guilty of just wanting to get it done sometimes. Number 9, character trumps academics. Again, this kind of goes along with the other one. If they're having a bad attitude some days, which they do, what I've started doing and I've been doing much better at is we stop at academics at any time for a character issue. anytime, because that is so much more important to me than did they finish a math page. Those are the lessons that are going to teach them how to treat people, how to react when things don't go their way, how to be angry in a healthy way, because it's okay to be angry. That's an emotion that God has given us. But there is a healthy way to get out that anger, and there is a very unhealthy way to react when you're angry. And those are so important. It may seem they're little kids now, but one day these little kids are going to be adults. And what is important to me is how are they as human beings to other human beings. Number 10, routine versus schedule. I am not a schedule person. I've tried. I don't even know why I tried, because it's just not me. Yeah, I like working towards things, but I don't like things to be so set, you know. And I tried 9 o'clock, we're gonna start this till 9:30, then we're gonna have a snack. And then at 10:15, read aloud until 10:30. That never works. Somebody always has a tantrum, maybe me. Somebody always needs an extra snack. Maybe somebody doesn't feel good. Maybe we don't feel like doing any of it and we just want to play a game. Maybe it's a beautiful day and we want to go outside and swim. And if I set those exact schedule goals for myself and I don't follow it, then I feel like a failure. Then I feel like I've messed everything up. We're behind in everything. We'll never be able to catch up. I'm not doing good being a role model for my kids. So a routine is so much better for me. Number 11, reality versus expectation. Oh, this one gets me every time. I had a way that I thought my homeschooling would go. It was gonna be so fun. We were all gonna have these beautiful workbooks and we're gonna open them. We're gonna love learning because I love workbooks and I love coloring and I love doing all the school things because I love school. And everybody's gonna have a great attitude. We're all gonna read together. Read alouds are gonna be the most perfect time in the world. And then reality sets in and there's attitudes and there's laziness and on me too. All the time. There's messy house, there's sicknesses, there's all of these things that come into play, or there's curriculum that kind of failed, or I realize my daughter is struggling with math, so now we can't move at the pace that I originally wanted. There's all these things that I had a beautiful picture of, and then reality sets in. We can have a hope for what's going to happen, but that's not necessarily going to be the case. So just remember that expectation and reality are two totally different things. Number 12, enjoy the process. Enjoy the process. Even on the days that I sometimes sit in the bathroom and I'm pulling my hair out and I'm in tears and I'm frustrated and I'm wondering, why in the world am I doing this? I still, when my head clears, I still would not trade us homeschooling for anything. I am so happy and I am so blessed to be able to homeschool. But I can tell that when I'm having those moments, when I am so frustrated and I am in tears, it's usually because I'm forgetting to enjoy the moment, the messes, the noise. It's so chaotic. But if I take a step back and I think of myself 10 years from now when they're all about to leave the house, and yes, I'm getting emotional because I always feel like that. Sorry, I'm gonna want those messes and I'm gonna want that noise and it's gonna be gone. So I try to remind myself to enjoy the moments, even when it seems like the most chaotic, messiest moments. Find something to enjoy. Okay, you get what I mean. I'm gonna move on to the next one. Sorry, I am also a very easy crier. I cry at everything all the time. Number 13, forgetting myself. I am important. And it is not selfish to say that, but I am important. My whole life is not just a homeschooling mom. I am a person that has hobbies. I have hobbies outside of homeschool. And there's so many things that I've let slide because I shift that focus and I want to do everything. I want to do all the homeschooling things. And when we're not homeschooling, I'm thinking of homeschooling and I forget myself. I forget my exercising. I forget, eating better. I forget that beautiful time with my husband to connect. I forget my devotions, and my prayers. I forget all of these things and I'm focused on the kids. That's not healthy. You have to remember yourself You have to take care of yourself. If you are not taking care of yourself, you cannot take care of other people. Number 14, don't stress math. I know that this one, maybe it makes you laugh. I am not a math person at all. And because of that, I feel like I stress more about math because I know the struggles. If they have a math brain, their math brain will take off on its own. They will find ways to expand their math knowledge. If they are not, they will find a path in life that doesn't need them to do these complex math problems. So I just wish that I had not stressed it so much. And again, I'm laughing because they're so little. These are mistakes that I've made and they are so little. It's bizarre. The final mistake of this video anyway is leaving God out. I feel like he called us to homeschool, and since I feel that way, then I know that he will equip me to do it. And on the days that I'm losing my mind, I know a lot of it is because I've not even prayed for our homeschool that day. I've not even prayed for my children or for my attitude that day. I'm not even asking for direction or for wisdom or for clarity. I'm just over here marching around on my own, going in circles, mad at the world because nothing's going my way. And all I needed to do was maybe take some quiet time, some deep breaths, and just connect with God and say, what do you want me to do? So those are my mistakes. Lots of them. And sorry for the tears, guys. If any of these mistakes ring true with you, please let me know in the comments. Let me know that I'm not alone. Or go ahead and put some in the comments, mistakes that you've made during homeschool. And I'm sure that whatever you put, I'm with you there too. All right, guys, again, thank you so much. If you liked this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will chat with you next time. Bye.